The morning my 82-year-old mother called me, her voice was shaking. "Daniel, I hate to bother you," she whispered. "The kitchen sink has been leaking all night. I tried putting towels down, but I can't stop it." I glanced at the clock. 7:30. I had an important meeting in less than an hour. "I'll come after work, Mom." "Oh, all right." As I hung up, guilt settled in my chest. My mother had spent 40 years raising me alone after my father died. She worked double shifts, skipped meals so I could eat, and never once complained. Now arthritis twisted her fingers, and even turning a wrench was impossible. My wife, Vanessa, walked into the kitchen carrying her coffee. "Who was that?" "My mom. Her sink's leaking. Could you stop by this morning? You're only 10 minutes away from her place." She barely looked up from her phone. "I'm busy. It's probably just a loose pipe. Maybe call a plumber if it looks serious." She shrugged. "She's your mother." "I know, but I'm asking for one favor." Vanessa sighed dramatically. "I'm not spending my day babysitting an old woman." The words hit harder than I expected. She isn't asking to be babysat. I have yoga at 9, brunch at 11, then I'm meeting Ashley. I stared at her. "So that's more important?" She rolled her eyes. "Oh, please." She managed 82 years before I came along. I lowered my voice. "Vanessa." She crossed her arms. "Figure it out yourself." Silence filled the room. She picked up her purse, kissed the air near my cheek without touching me, and walked out. The front door slammed. I stood there for several seconds before grabbing my keys. I texted my boss that I'd be late. When I arrived at Mom's little house, water had spread across half the kitchen floor. She was sitting on a chair with swollen hands wrapped around a towel. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I didn't want to interrupt your work." I knelt beside her. "You never have to apologize." The pipe beneath the sink had completely split. I shut off the water, called a plumber, and spent the next 3 hours cleaning everything before rushing to the office. That evening, Vanessa acted as if nothing had happened. "Did you survive your plumbing adventure?" She laughed. I simply answered, "Yeah." Something inside me had shifted. Not because she refused, because she never cared. The following morning, I woke before sunrise. Vanessa was still asleep. I quietly made breakfast, packed a small overnight bag, and drove to my mother's house. She smiled when she saw me. "You don't have to stay." "I know." I spent the day replacing light bulbs, organizing her medications, fixing the loose front gate, trimming bushes, and stocking her refrigerator. For the first time in months, she laughed. Real laughter. That afternoon my phone exploded with messages. "Vanessa, where are you? Did you seriously leave without saying anything? The cleaning company is here. The internet isn't working. Can you come home?" I answered with one sentence. "I'm helping family." She replied instantly. "So am I. I need you." I looked at my mother sleeping peacefully in her recliner. She had never demanded anything from me. She only needed kindness. I typed back. "My 82-year-old mother needed me yesterday." No response came for almost an hour. Then another message appeared. "You're being dramatic." I smiled sadly. No, I had simply stopped making excuses. That evening I returned home. The house looked like chaos. Delivery boxes everywhere. Laundry overflowing. Vanessa was furious. "Where have you been?" "With Mom." "For an entire day?" "Yes." She threw her hands into the air. "You abandoned me." I looked around. "You couldn't handle one day alone." "That's different." "How?" She searched for an answer, but found none. I continued calmly. "My mother spent 23 years taking care of me. You always choose her." "I choose the person who has never treated me like an inconvenience." Her face hardened. "So what now?" I took a deep breath. "Now we have an honest conversation." She folded her arms. "I don't see the problem." "That's exactly the problem." I explained how her words had echoed in my head all night. "Figure it out yourself." If my mother had ever said those words to me as a child, I wouldn't be standing here. Instead, she sacrificed birthdays, vacations, new clothes, and countless dreams so I could have opportunities she never did. Vanessa remained silent. Finally she muttered, "I didn't think it was that serious." It wasn't about the sink. She frowned. It was about compassion. Another long silence. Then I walked upstairs and placed a folder on the bed. She looked confused. "What's that?" "Our financial records." "Why?" "Because from today forward, part of every month is going toward hiring someone to help my mother whenever she needs it." "You didn't ask me." "I asked you yesterday for something much smaller." She lowered her eyes. For the first time since we'd married, she had nothing to say. Weeks passed. Professional caregivers visited my mother twice a week. A gardener maintained her yard. A handyman checked the house monthly. She smiled more than she had in years. One Sunday, she squeezed my hand and whispered, "You've done enough, sweetheart." I smiled. No. I looked around the warm little home where she'd raised me. I'm just beginning to repay a debt that can never truly be repaid. Some people believe love is measured by grand gestures. It isn't. It's measured in ordinary moments. Answering the phone, showing up, fixing a leaking sink, holding an aging hand, and understanding that the people who once carried us deserve someone willing to carry them when their strength is gone. Because one day, every one of us will hope someone chooses compassion instead of saying, "Figure it out yourself."